Congratulations, graduate! But before you're ready to conquer college, Primo Traveller has another set of prime picks just for you. The 10 cheapest destinations to visit during your gap year. Watch until the end because you don't want to miss our top 3 spots especially. The gap year. A tradition that dates back all the way to the 17th century. As you prepare to make the biggest decision of your life, a gap year is your one big opportunity to experience the world and discover your true passion. You can also build real-world skills, create lifelong memories, and return home an even better you. Many institutions even offer a gap year program that can help you gain the most out of this experience. But of course, because you're young, budget is also a consideration. Worry not, we've got you covered. The UK Post Office's travel money has compared the cost of accommodation, meals, and cultural attractions, so you'd get the full experience without breaking the bank. And out of European cities surveyed on a per-day tour basis, here are the 10 best destinations at an affordable price. So let's start out at number 10. Let's talk about Ljubljana, Slovenia. Slovenia's capital is teeming with historic culture. Walk along the enchanting streets, take a funicular to Ljubljana Castle, go on a river cruise, or even indulge in its museums and galleries, including the National Gallery of Slovenia. Of course, we'll be mentioning a particular city, but your choice of sites will not be limited to this specifically. You can make it your jumping off point to other interesting parts of the country. For example, you can set off for the Alps, Lake Bled, and Triglav National Park. You can take a refreshing walk through the quaint old town Skofja Loka, or stand in awe of the beautiful landscape embracing Preljina Castle. A day of exploration in Ljubljana costs as little as £120. And since you'll be wandering around, to offset these costs, get a €44 Ljubljana card, which gives you 2 days of free access to more than 20 attractions, as well as public transport including the boat cruise mentioned earlier, and even a 4-hour bicycle hire. Number 9. Lille, France. A cultural hub and bustling university city in northern France, perfect for the gap year traveler. Check out Old Lille, a historic district with Baroque architecture dating to the 17th and 18th centuries. The gabled houses surrounding the main square and Theatre du Nord are set in the classic Flemish style. The enormous Palais des Beaux-Arts Museum, second only to the Louvre in size, and filled with works by Monet, Raphael, Van Gogh, and Donatello, as well as detailed 17th and 18th century scale models of cities, including Lille. So you can see the city full size and also in miniature. Don't forget to visit the town hall, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And 2 days here cost less than £230. Now number 8. Bratislava, Slovakia. Once a part of the Kingdom of Hungary for over 1,000 years, Bratislava's old town boasts of nice fountains, Baroque architecture, monuments, celebrating historical figures, and whimsical statues. Medieval gates, palaces, squares, and castle ruins dot the city. In fact, Bratislava Castle is where the Hungarian crown jewels were kept in the 16th century. From its terrace, you can see over the Danube and across the borders into Austria, and housed within is the S&M Historical Museum, covering Slovakian history from the Middle Ages to the present day. 11 kings and queens of Hungary were crowned in St. Martin's Cathedral, one of the largest and oldest in the country, situated just below Bratislava Castle. Exploration and accommodation cost just over £216 for 2 nights. Number 7. Budapest, Hungary. From Bratislava, jump off to Budapest. Filled with historic basilicas, museums, squares, castles, and palaces that make for an enchanting sightseeing tour. You marvel at some of the grandest architecture you'll ever see on the European continent. And with that said, why not even make it a magical river cruise, or witness the beauty of the city from the viewpoint of the fascinating Fisherman's Bastion? And if you're of legal age, you can even sample wine from Hungary's 22 wine regions at Buda Castle. If you get tired from all of the sightseeing, relax at the Széchenyi Thermal Bath, a spa complex, the largest medicinal bath in Europe that benefits from mineral-rich thermal water. 2 days here costs about £213, a little bit less than neighboring Bratislava. Number 6. Zagreb, Croatia. An interesting feature of Zagreb is its old town, which developed as 2 separate hilltop settlements side by side, Kaptol and Gradec. Kaptol is where the clergy was based, and Gradec is the secular part where artisans and tradesmen took root. But curiously though, these 2 adjacent towns did not integrate for hundreds of years. This is a place perfect for walking as you breathe in the architecture, museums, and monuments that exude a rich medieval atmosphere. Or you can ride one of the shortest funiculars in the entire world. You'll also find Mirogoj Cemetery, one of the most beautiful in Europe, or you can shop for trinkets at the local flea market. A day of exploration here costs less than £100. We've bundled 3 amazing places for number 5, and you don't want to miss any of them. Let's talk about Krakow, Warsaw, and Katowice in Poland. Krakow, one of the oldest cities in Europe, is known for its well-preserved medieval core and Jewish quarter, with the remnants of defensive walls, a Renaissance-era trading outpost, and dozens of interesting sites that offer a perfect learning experience. Krakow features many landmarks that give you a glimpse of the tragedies of World War II. And this is sobering, but still very interesting. From there, you can head to Auschwitz-Birkenau, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is a former Nazi concentration camp where more than 1 million prisoners were killed. However, a professional tour guide is necessary here in order to sensitively convey the horrors of the Holocaust. Nearby are the Wieliczka salt mines and the beautiful salt sculptures housed within. Then, as you head back, cap the evening by admiring the Wawel Royal Castle from the Vistula River. As you move to Warsaw, admire the architecture of the Warsaw Old Town and its charming maze of streets crowded with shops and cafes. You can also visit the Frederick Concert Hall, one of Warsaw's most luxurious musical venues, with the intimate feel of 19th century salons that musical genius Frédéric Chopin so loved. And at Katowice, marvel at the many museums and art galleries for as little as £1 to £5, including the Open Air Museum, Silesian Museum, and the BWA Art Gallery. See all of these things at an average of only £80 for a 2-night accommodation. Number 4. Riga, Latvia. This historic trading hub was once among the most developed cities in the Hanseatic League. It thus features unique architectural characteristics of the era. The Old Center, Vikriga, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with labyrinthine streets, medieval churches, and also guild halls. This is in contrast with the Art Nouveau architecture of 800 buildings or so in the city, a beneficiary of the financial boom of the early 20th century. Riga Cathedral, first built in the 13th century, once housed the dome pipe organ, the largest in the world during the 16th century. You can also visit calming gardens and interesting museums, including the grandiose Latvian National Museum of Art, the Museum of the History of Riga and Navigation, which is housed in the Dome Cathedral Chapter House and is Latvia's oldest, and the Ethnographic Open Air Museum, where 118 traditional buildings from the 4 Latvian provinces were transported. The oldest dates back to the 1600s, and the most recent is from the 1930s. And if you're adventurous enough, try Riga Black Balsam, a bitter but slightly sweet liqueur made in oak barrels and used as a mixer in other beverages, even ice cream. Riga offers accommodation for as little as £63. Number 3. Lisbon, Portugal. The second oldest city in Europe encapsulates the rich history of Portugal, especially during the daring age of discovery. Lisbon features historic castles, palaces, museums, and quaint seaside towns nearby. Learn more about it by checking our video on the top 10 premier things to do when in Lisbon. And guess what? You can experience all of that for cheap, as 2 days will cost you only £180, including accommodation. Number 2. Vilnius, Lithuania. Take a cultural tour of Vilnius and immerse yourself in its Baroque architecture and medieval old town. But it doesn't end there. The buildings here feature diverse styles and eras, from the neoclassical Vilnius Cathedral to Gothic St. Anne's Church. The 16th century Gate of Dawn, containing a shrine with a sacred Virgin Mary icon, once guarded an entrance to the original city. You can also hike to the Gediminas Tower, the Artillery Bastion, or Trakai Castle. From Vilnius, you can head off to the Ninth Fort, one of the largest memorial complexes in Europe, built on the exact site where Holocaust and repression victims were mass murdered. Or see the Kana Rumsiskes and the Paisali Monastery. A 2-day visit ends up costing about £166. And number 1. Tirana, Albania. Tirana is known for its colorful Ottoman, fascist, and Soviet-era architecture. See the city while dangling from the Dashti Express, a cable car that rises more than 800 meters up the mountainside and spans a kilometer. Skanderbeg Square features the statue of a national hero. Many concerts are held here, especially during the summer, so lucky you if you catch one. And on the square's north end is the National Historic Museum, covering prehistoric times to communist rule and the anti-communist uprisings. There are also remnants of its past through the Ottoman Etem Bey Mosque and Tanner's Bridge. The medieval Breza Castle, built by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian some 1500 years ago, and after a short bus trip to the city of Duray, a 2nd century amphitheater that could once seat 20,000 people. It was hidden from the world for more than 1,000 years until being unearthed a century ago. You'll also find yourself invited for a rakija, a plum brandy, as a friendly Albanian gesture toward visitors. Accommodation and expenses here will only cost you £132 for 2 days. And that's why it's at the top of our list. That's pretty affordable. These are 10 of the cheapest yet most rewarding places to visit during your gap year. Check out this other video from Primo Traveller, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of our 10 prime picks. And let Primo Traveller be your guide to premier destinations around the world.